Oh, you need to go to therapy, meditate, journal, blah, blah, blah. No, I need to throw a brick at a government vehicle. That would make me feel better.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Dave Show. We've got a great show planned for today. So sorry I missed yesterday, but hey, life happens, and you got to move on. But don't worry, we have a lot of good lefties losing it. They are unhinged as always. So let's stop talking and let's get into it. Let's do it. News and nuts. News and nuts. Hey, it's news and nuts. President Trump says that he has a plan to flood the worst of the worst when it comes to sanctuary cities, to round up all the illegals and get them out of our country. Take a look.
A post last night where you said you want ICE to really target Democrats.
Yeah, I want them to focus on the cities, because the cities are where you really have what's called sanctuary cities, and that's where the people are. I look at New York, I look at Chicago. I mean, you got a really bad governor in Chicago and a bad mayor, but the governor's probably the worst in the country. Biden allowed 21 million people to come into our country. Of that, vast numbers of those people were murderers, killers, people from gangs, people from jails. They emptied their jails out into the U.S. Most of those people are in the cities, all blue cities, all Democrat-run cities, and they think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen.
President Trump was asked if Iran was willing to come back to the negotiating table, and President Trump was kind of wishy-washy. He still pretty much wants to get back to the table, resolve this whole thing in peace, even though the deadline of the 60 days has expired. So I don't know, check it out.
Mr. President, have you heard any signals or seen any messages from intermediaries that Iran wishes to de-escalate the conflict?
Yeah, they'd like to talk, but they should have done that before. I had 60 days, and they had 60 days, and on the 61st day I said, we don't have a deal. They have to make a deal, and it's painful for both parties, but I'd say Iran is not winning this war. And they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
24 hours can make a big difference. It seems President Trump now is considering a strike on Iran, and I think that means that we're officially ramping up our involvement in the conflict. Now, President Trump was asked on Air Force One about negotiating with Iran, and he didn't seem too positive. And quite frankly, I'm not sure if he's sick, but for the first time, really, he kind of looked tired, which is quite frankly amazing. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. Take a look.
Are you open to negotiating with the Iranians right now, or do you want to wait?
I don't know. I've been negotiating. I told them to do the deal. They should have done the deal. The cities have been blown to pieces. We've lost a lot of people. They should have done the deal. I told them, do the deal. So I don't know. I'm not too much in a mood to negotiate.
All right, my friends, that's it for the news. Now on to the nuts. This next bird is, well, it's straight out of Jurassic Park. At least if you had your eyes closed. It's kind of unsettling. Take a look. This next clip is maybe one of the most random clips I've seen in a while. This gentleman is walking around, and I'm not, well, what he is doing is pretty impressive. I don't know if he could turn it into a career or not, but check it out. I'm pretty sure these guys are fired, and I'm pretty sure they wish that ICE had maybe picked them up the day before they went into work this day, because it did not go well. Something went horribly wrong. Check it out. Socially unacceptable cats on X. Boy, these usernames, they kill me sometimes. But he or she says they all wishing they got deported yesterday. That's kind of what I was saying, but yes, probably so. The Mod Beat says there's a lawsuit. Oh gosh, I couldn't even imagine like how hard it would be to clean all that stuff. I mean, you'd probably have to either get your car repainted or, I mean, you couldn't total your car for insurance purposes because of that, but oh, yikes. In this next clip, a soldier is enjoying a really good meal, steak and lobster. Now, whether this is really, really good or really, really bad, I guess it depends. Some people in the comments said that the only reason you eat this well is because you're about to go off to war. However, it looks like this video was produced on June 14th, so it could have just been a really nice celebration meal, you know, for the Army. I'm not sure. I hope it's the latter for sure. Check it out.
Brothers Defect has steak and lobster. How's your steak and lobster?
All right, damn near decent.
How's yours?
I'm ready for war.
We're going to war. I might have to double it. I had to run it back.
Dominic Pace says, thank you for your service, men. Yes, thank you, for sure. And women. Let's make sure not to forget the women. Because they do serve honorably just as well. 2V News says, never had that when I was in the Marine Corps. Yeah. Nolan McConnell says, Grok says this video is from 3 days ago on the 250th celebration of the Army. That, or we are going to war. I think there's only two options there. Yeah, correct. I definitely hope it's just a celebration meal. This next clip is a little hard to watch. However, I know that there are a lot of people that enjoy their meat prepped in this fashion. I'm not one of them. Check it out.
Hi, how you doing?
Touchdown to Heathrow, DP, bro. About to hit the club and turn the shoot to a freak show. Look through the peephole, everybody geeks, yo. Need to get girl with an extremely deep. See 6 midgets that be fighting, juggling. Maybe it's just me, cause my mind is struggling. Babes, boyfriend is acting like a clown. You know what's going down every time that we in town. Take a look through the peephole, yo.
And to answer the question, do you ever just? No. Never. All right, my friends, that's it for news and nuts. But don't worry, we've got you covered. We've got a lot of insane woke lefties that are unhinged and losing it all over. So let's jump into that deep end, that liberal pool of madness. Sit back, buckle up. We're about to enter the lib zone.
You're not, dude.
Hey, she's Louise, dude.
I'm leaving so you don't have Corey.
If you want to practice your transition, you don't do it at a young kid's softball field.
Just go to the men's bathroom, dude. Is it really that difficult? I mean, really? No, it's not. Carlos America says, mental illness on display. Yeah, I don't really understand. If you've still got your original plumbing, just use a urinal. I mean, that's the most logical thing to do, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Sadie says the Democrats have tried to normalize this degenerate behavior. They have been at it for several years now, and I fear that, unfortunately, they may be just inching just a little bit, this little slice of normality, or the new norm, I should say. We gotta fight against it, my friends.
I'm currently driving home from the No Kings protest today in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was absolutely amazing. The protest was actually totally peaceful until a MAGA showed up with a big red pro-Trump flag and a military gun strapped to his pants and shoved a woman.
She's crazy.
Anyways, I would just like to make something abundantly clear for the Trump supporters.
Okay.
I know that Trump is trying to take away our freedom to speak, and you guys are all for it because y'all are just annoyed about us, going out and protesting all the time. But I just want to warn you guys that if he takes away that right from us, he's not just taking it away from the liberals. He's taking it away from the people. We the people means all of us, me and you. Y'all seem to have this mindset like Trump is going to be president forever now, and I do want to tell you guys that we are going to have another liberal president at some point. So anyways, when that time comes, and y'all are mad because things really aren't going your way and you don't have the ability to speak, who are you going to blame? Because we all know how y'all feel about taking accountability.
You are totally correct. Trump is not going to be president. Well, maybe one more term. But in all seriousness, yeah, he's not going to be president forever, and we understand that. However, we're in pretty good shape, I think, for J.D. Vance, or at least somebody else. It's probably going to be J.D. I mean, let's be real about it. I think the Republicans are going to be in the presidency for quite a while. But you are true. You are right. Someday we are going to get another liberal president. And they will be liberal. I mean, they're going to be crazy far left liberal. And it is going to be a train wreck for this country. Oh my gosh. But let's enjoy the good times while they last.
Racists and misogynists need to be treated like pedophiles. Let me say that again. Racists and misogynists need to be treated like pedophiles. It needs to stop being socially okay to be racist. It needs to stop socially okay to be misogynist. It don't make sense to be a pedophile. It don't make sense to like children. It don't make sense to touch children. It don't make sense to be racist. It don't make sense to hate women. It all doesn't make sense. They need to all be in the same category, where if you do something towards a child, you get the shit slapped out of you. You do something towards a person just because of the color of their skin, you get the shit slapped out of you. You do something to a woman just because she's a woman, you get the shit slapped out of you. It all needs to be the same. Why are we treating these three things like they're differently? They're all the same. We need to start treating people like that.
We don't treat them the same because they're not the same. What are you talking about? Look, I understand the real underlying message here is that we should have elected Kamala Harris because we're a bunch of racist, misogynistic, sexist pigs, including women out there that did want to vote for her. But that's really what you're saying, is that we should have voted her in. And anytime there is a woman on the left that should run for president, we need to vote her in, because I guess she has a vagina and boobs. I don't know. I guess there's I don't know.
This is a hypothetical. Say we get drafted. Instead of avoiding the draft and just going to federal prison, wouldn't it make more sense to just go over there, do the training, get our service weapons, and then just blast away all of our COs at the same time? I'm not saying to do this, but...
Yeah, and you're totally insane. Jeez Louise.
So now that we've seen the success of the No Kings protest this Saturday,
I'm
just sitting here thinking, why don't we do this shit every Saturday for the foreseeable future? Like, I'm willing to sacrifice 3 to 5 hours every weekend to protest and show that we're not loyal to this authoritarian government. And I feel like most people have Saturdays off, or if you don't have a Saturday off, you can plan one, like, oh, 3 weeks from now I'll take that one off. If we just keep doing this shit every week, like, it's going to create change. Let me know what y'all think.
I think that's never going to happen. And let me tell you, somebody that actually works on the weekends, which I did for over 4 years, every weekend, I am not going to, I don't care what the cause is, I am not going to plan one of my Saturdays that I might take off for whatever reason to go protest. No, that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to do that.
He didn't win. He didn't win. I'm going through the footage of yesterday's No Kings parade and strike, whatever, and every state's inner city was flooded with people. Flooded. You cannot pay me to believe he won. I don't know what the tech bros did. I don't know. But the way the glow, let me say this. the protest was not just America. UK jumped online. France jumped online. People around Germany jumped on the Zoom. Everybody got on the Zoom. Everybody got on their Zoom. He didn't win. His birthday party, and I know Caroline is going to come up there tomorrow morning and cuss us out and tell us that it was all... He didn't win. I don't know what they did, allegedly, but the way Americans, not me, the white ones, showed up again. Remember they had one like 2 months ago to get rid of Elon. Now they have this one like,
Talk about election deniers. Good grief. How long did we have to hear people on the left say that those on the right were absolutely stupid and retarded and they're conspiracy theorists, that Biden won? Just suck it up. Move on with life, right? That's all we heard. Well, now the shoe's on the other foot, and nobody on the left can seem to accept the fact that Donald Trump won. And that's all I gotta say.
So here's the thing. I know, as a girly who's super heat sensitive.
Then why in the freak are you wearing a mask, stupid lady? It's 2025. The pandemic's been over for like a while now. Jeez, take off this stupid mask. Actually, keep it on so we can clearly identify you for who you really are. And my gosh, can those glasses get any thicker or bigger? But at least they kind of coordinate, color coordinate with their shirt. So, I mean, at least she's got that going for her.
And has a lot of overlapping medical issues that make going out in the summertime excruciating, even without putting something over my face. But the best possible thing that you can do to protect yourself and to protect other people at protests, at the grocery store, literally wherever you are, is to just wear a mask. Like, if you want to express solidarity with disabled folks, please, for the love of God, wear a mask.
No, I'm not going to do that. I guess I have absolutely no solidarity with anybody that's disabled. Oh my gosh, these people are retarded.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
If you don't support these protests, not only are you on the wrong side of history,
right,
but you're also just like not hip. You don't get it.
Oh.
You're not cool. You're not like of the times. You're behind.
Right.
It's embarrassing.
You're so right. It's all about feelings, and who cares about facts? It's so stupid. Wow. If that doesn't show that the entire left and the Democratic Party is mentally ill, I don't know what you would have to watch. Could you imagine the outrage if somebody, a group of people demonstrating on the right, were kicking around a head of Obama or Biden's head or maybe Kamala Harris's head? There would be so much outrage. It would be ridiculous. It'd be 24/7 news coverage for weeks and months and probably years. You know, they would use that footage for, commercials to run against the right. It would be insane. And that, quite frankly, is exactly what the Democratic Party is.
They said that they will be moving forward with the lawsuit of the polls being inaccurate. Listen to me. If Kamala Harris ends up being president, I will tattoo the American flag across my chest like a hood rat.
Trump for f***ing real, but like some of this stuff is going on right now in the Democratic Party.
What?
That's failing people like you and me, and more so, Palestine.
Was that woman even speaking English? I don't understand a word she said. I just heard F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb. Jeez Louise. Brother.
So hypothetically, if I was at a protest, some of the things that I would say is, if you voted for Trump, you snitched out Anne Frank. If you voted for Trump, you watched Star Wars wrong. If you voted for Trump, you cut $500 billion to Medicaid for a fucking birthday parade.
What in the world does Anne Frank have to do with anything for voting for Donald Trump? I mean, we're not the party running around screaming anti-Semitic slogans and pro-Palestinian propaganda at the universities. No, no, no. We're not the people that are shooting Jewish people as they're coming out of a museum. No, no, that's the left. And we're also not the party that is lighting Holocaust victims on fire. No, that would entirely be the left. So again, what does Anne Frank have to do with anything? Absolutely nothing.
Do you support running your car through a crowd full of pedestrians who are peacefully protesting? Get
what?
The f off my page, you fucking sociopathic motherfucker.
I think there's only one sociopath, and we just saw her. Geez, scary eyes. All right, here we go again. Another no-name Democratic Party person. I believe he's like the comptroller in New York. He's running for mayor. His name is Brad Lander. He's a complete idiot. And he has this whole staged political theater, that's all it is, of him trying to, I don't know, get a warrant served for some stupid illegal alien that nobody has heard of and nobody cares about. And then, just coincidentally, just by chance, there happens to be a full press conference just waiting for him. He's such a buffoon. Oh my gosh. These people, when is it going to end? Take a look.
And so I just engaged in that tradition of accompaniment, of trying to bear witness, of trying to walk peacefully with someone, of trying to make sure that the rules are followed.
Here's a couple more retarded senators that all of a sudden think it's a really good idea to check on ICE facilities. Why? Not because they care about the people in those ICE facilities. It's all political theater, my friends, and it is only to get their, their mugs on camera and showing their party that they're fighters, that they're standing up for somebody. Well, it'd be nice if they actually stood up for their constituents instead of always standing up for the illegal immigrants. Just saying. Take a look.
Because you're not allowed to be here. Sir, are you an officer with the BI International? I am an officer with ICE. You're an officer with ICE? Do you have a badge? You have an ID? Can you see it? I don't have to show that to you. You don't have to show that? I'm telling you to leave. I've already identified myself. I'm an officer with ICE. Can you show me a badge or an ID? You're not allowed to be here. Police are coming. Okay? What are we doing that's improper, sir? Who are you?
Would you support just removing the southern border in its entirety?
Right now, I believe I'd rather take a chance with Mexico than the U.S.
Do you think the United States is more dangerous than Mexico?
Absolutely.
What, are you retarded?
Really don't like that it put a Bible verse on my food without my consent. I don't want to eat John 3:16. Get your John 3:16 out of here.
Or you could just not go to Chick-fil-A. It's a super simple fix, my man.
I would not give any fetuses moral consideration because they're not sentient moral agents.
A human being, all of us, started as at conception. Unobstructed, we became humans. That's the foundation of human life, is at conception. Do we disagree?
Yes, we do.
Okay, where do people start from? They don't start in the sentient. The point is that if you let the baby grow from conception, it's going to grow and be a person, right?
Yes.
If you obstruct at any point, you take the life of that and you dismantle the process, whether it's sentient or not. So the process from the foundation to the finish line is what it is. If you planted a whole bunch of orange trees right here and you planted them in the ground, and I went and dug them up, I've now destroyed all these trees.
You believe that because a fetus will become a human, it is wrong to kill them.
I think it's a human at conception. Like, when does an apple tree become an apple tree?
When it becomes a tree, when it sprouts out of the ground.
No, but it's already an apple tree in the seed. It just needs to grow.
No, it's a seed.
The apple tree is in the seed. When you plant an apple tree, what do? Put a seed in the ground with the expectation of what?
that it'll grow into a tree.
Unobstructed is going to be a tree.
That Appleseed analogy is pretty good. Bill Burr, in one of his acts, talked about how if you make a cake and put all the ingredients in the cake and stir it all up and get it all, the way it's supposed to be, and then throw it in the oven to start baking, and then 10 minutes into cooking, somebody comes and just opens up the oven and rips out the cakes and like throws it across the kitchen. It's going to be like, hey, what are you doing to my cake, right? You're not going to make the argument that it's something totally different when it's in the pan before it cooks. Like, the eventual outcome is going to be a cake. Everybody knows that. Anyways, it's just interesting. I don't know. It seems like a flawed argument that these pro-abortion people have. I don't think it's that they don't get it. I just don't think they want to get it.
Because if it were, you would be keeping these women in. Instead, you are the one injecting culture wars into the military, and it's at the detriment of our military readiness and national security. Now, General Kane, I'd like to turn to you.
So to be clear, these are men who think they're women.
These are women. I'm happy to educate you on
But these are men.
on trans
and so
issues at another
what we've
time.
identified is that there's mental health issues
I'd
with
like
that
to-
belief system.
I'd like to turn to
that
General
are
Kane
detrimental
now.
to readiness, and that's the determination that we've made and that we stand behind. Gender dysphoria.
And so you don't.
I love how she was so smug confronting Hegseth, and then Hegseth just destroyed her. That's funny.
Oh, you need to go to therapy, meditate, journal, blah, blah, blah. No, I need to throw a brick at a government vehicle. That would make me feel better. That would make me feel better.
Fafo, my dear, please, Fafo, because that's what would make me feel better.
It's time for Dave's Detox.
That's cute. Did not like that. That's awesome. Oh no. Oh, you stranded up there. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's like totally freaked out by that horse. That's funny. I think this is showing the aftermath of some cats or dogs or something that just made a mess. Aw. Looks like somebody got some peanut butter. Used to do that to Blake every once in a while. He loved peanut butter, but had the same reaction. Oh, ouch. Okay, what do we, get some nuts or something? Not anymore. Oh yeah, you get that water bottle. You get it good. What? Just, oh jeez, and then he doesn't even eat it. What a jerk. All right, my friends, that's it for another episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, slap that bell around, slap it all over the place so you're always notified when the next episode drops. And until that next episode, stay safe, know that you are loved and appreciated. And of course, until we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.